will not be perfect all the time. You will not be the ideal man all the time. A righteous man may fall 7 times and rise again, but the wicked shall fall by calamity. You will fall. You will fall. You are not perfect, and it's important that you rise. Welcome back again to another YouTube video. My name is IK. If you're new, welcome to the channel. In this particular video, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 things that you as a man must bring to the table in your relationship going forward, especially into the new year. It's important for you that you go into this year being more intentional and just knowing what you're doing with women. Number one thing that I believe every man must bring to the table in the new year 2024 is loyalty to your partner. What does loyalty speak of? Loyalty is simply your ability to be faithful and committed to your relationship no matter what. Your ability to follow through on your words, on whatever you have committed to do, on whatever promise you have committed to do, whether it's your relationship with your wife, with your girlfriend, with your family, with God, you must be loyal and faithful. This is absolutely important. This is what breeds you into a true man, a man that becomes trustworthy and a man that a lot of people can follow. This creates a lot of confidence even within you. When you're loyal, when you know people can rely on you, and when you know that no matter what happens, you are always going to stand up for yourself. You're always going to be somebody that can be dependent upon. Loyalty is something that you absolutely need in this coming year. This is one trait that I believe every man must imbibe and every man must realize going forward. The second thing you must bring to the table in the new year is purpose for your relationship. Do you know how many men actually wander around looking for purpose in the wrong place, or just wandering without ever having a purpose for their marriage, for their partner, without having any purpose for their life? The ability for you to lead, the ability for you to direct your relationship, the ability for you to steer it in the right direction, the desired direction for you and your partner. This is important. If you're with somebody right now who you can say you're not proud of, or who you know that I'm not intentional with this person, I don't have any long-term plans with this person, then it's important that you cut off that relationship. And I'm not going to say it any other way, because this is supposed to be an entirely different topic, because I know obviously a lot of people find it hard to sever themselves from toxic relationships, from relationships that are not going anywhere, from relationships that are absolutely terrible and horrible for them. But this is just going to be another video we can talk about later. But right now, you need to define the purpose of your relationship. You need to tell yourself the truth. What is it that I'm gaining from this relationship? What is it that my partner is giving to me? What is it? How can we come together to harness these benefits and get somewhere with our lives? It's important. And I can't even overemphasize that. The ability for you to steer your relationship in the right direction is something that you can never ever undermine. Otherwise, you guys will stay together for years and years and years, and there's no going anywhere. It's not ending anywhere. It's not heading to any direction. I don't just mean this for people who are dating. I also mean this for people who are married. Marriage is not a purpose. Marriage is the start of a purpose. Marriage is not the end goal. Marriage is the start of a goal. If you see it that way, then that would absolutely help you in navigating your relationship going forward. You need to come together. Both of you need to come together to define the purpose of your marriage, or to define the purpose of your life, or where next you are going with your life. Where next? What is the next step for us? What is the next phase for us? This is something that a lot of people undermine. The ability for two people to come together to talk and reason things out and plan their future together, whether it's financially, mentally, when it comes to children, when it comes to a home, whatever it is, you need to come together to define the purpose of your relationship. Another thing that every man must bring to the table in their relationship is empathy. When I say empathy, I know many of these words are just simple words or being thrown around, and many people do not even understand what they mean or how they apply to a relationship. Empathy is simply your ability to connect with your partner, with your spouse emotionally, and also your ability to put yourself in their shoes when it comes to varying situations. You must learn to show consideration. You must learn to exercise patience. As a man, you must learn to exercise patience and consideration for your partner, for your wife. Any woman at all can get to your nerves, no matter how patient you are, no matter how much of a good man you think you are, no matter how much of a good conscience or a good heart you think you have. Anybody, any woman can get to you, can get to your heart, can provoke you. Can provoke you to the core. You need to learn how to be patient with women. You need to learn how to show empathy to a woman. You don't just abandon her and her feelings to herself. You need to learn how to connect with her emotionally. This is also a form of intimacy for a lot of women. This is how you show her you care. This is how you show her you love her. I understand there's a lot of preaching out there with red pill and a lot of things that they say. I agree with some things. I do not agree with some things. This is one area that I can tell you as a man, you have taken this person as your partner. You have realize that you have taken this person as your partner. Even for married people, it's a little bit more serious. I say this all the time in my video. You have gone to the altar and sworn that is for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. Till death do you part. That's a very serious oath. You must be there for her. No matter how you're feeling, no matter what is going on, you must show up empathetically. You must put yourself in her shoes and realize that whatever she's going through, whatever emotion, whatever feeling she's going through is genuine, and that it's worth identifying with her in that situation. I'm telling you, disregard many of these things you hear. It's important for you to learn how to be empathetic with your partner in any situation. This is absolutely vital for your success and for your marriage. Another thing every man must bring to the table, especially in the new year, is less pride and more vulnerability. Let me tell you something. A man is synonymous to pride. Man and pride are like glue. They are together. And you must learn to know when to drop your pride, especially at important times or at critical moments. Your pride is actually killing your relationship, is killing your marriage. If your partner just, comes up to you and is telling you something or trying to, identify with you in some way, and all you can think of is she is trying to hurt me, and you go in defense mood, that is your pride speaking. That is your ego. There are some things that you can't really bring yourself to do. Oh, honey, can you help me take out the trash? And then you see that as, what is she telling? Why is she telling me to do this? Because this is not something that you can just do it anyways. I'm a man. I shouldn't be cleaning the house or taking out the trash. You take care of those things, not me. I know what my function is. You must take out this sort of mentality for your relationship to be a success. No matter how much less of pride that you think you're showing right now, you could show even less and less pride. You could, I don't want to use the word humility. You should humble yourself. For some reason, I don't want to say that, because a man would always be proud. A man would always have a certain level of pride in him. And I will never tell you to eradicate your pride entirely. That's impossible. Your pride is never going to leave you or be away from you forever. No. You must show less and less pride in situations. Your pride can also be of advantage to you, but there are times you need to realize that the pride can also work against you. And it's important to drop anything or any moment at all that presents itself as where you need to apply humility, or less pride rather, but you are applying pride with that situation. It could cost you. It could cost you your marriage. It could cost you your relationship. It could cost you a lot of things. It could cost you your trust. It could cost you brokenness. It could cost you a lot of things. Just pride. Pride goes before a fall. Your pride is what leads to the fall and domination of your relationship. It's important that you show less and less pride, especially with your woman. practice vulnerability. It's important that you merge and invite vulnerability into your life as a man. We have been told growing up and navigating through life that it's a man's job to be stable. It's a man's job to just, be strong, be firm, be stoic. That's the word that's being thrown around now. Be stoic, be all, be an alpha male. But this is not always going to be true. I want you to be honest with yourself. You are human. You have feelings. You have emotion. You are going to break down at some point. You are going to break down when life comes to you, punches you. Even 2024, everybody's excited now. New year and all that stuff. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be more intentional and all those plans that we make. But I'm telling you, in the midst of you pursuing those goals, in the midst of you pursuing those plans, you will break down. And you need to know how to show it. I don't just mean going to your partner and always crying to her or being all excessively emotional all the time. No, you need to be able to, bring yourself together often. But anytime you feel excessive emotion, it's okay to let it out, my friend. It's okay to let it out. I will say it again. Let it out. Let it out, because that's what's going to help you. That's what's going to help you move on. That's what's going to help you be a better man. You will make mistakes. You will fall. You will be tested. You will be tried. You are going to face a lot of things. You'll be questioned. Your integrity is going to come to a questioning. And it's okay to, at that point, you will be abandoned. You will be left alone. You will be left alone by people you love. You will be left alone by your family, by your friends. Things will be said about you that may not be true, but you need to know how to be strong while also showing your vulnerability. Yes, it's possible to have those. You are firm when you need to be firm. You are vulnerable and you show your vulnerability when you need to. You can cry to yourself in your bed. You need to have a grounded partner who you can go to and show vulnerability in that way. And she's not going to look at you a certain way. It's important for you as a man. Another thing that every man must bring to the table going forward in your relationship is moral integrity. I know why I say moral integrity, because a lot of men do a lot of things behind the scene that many women may know or may not know. I'm just going to turn off my phone here. A lot of men do these things behind the scene, and it's almost embedded in your nature to an extent to have your secret place, things that nobody else knows. It doesn't mean that you are hiding something. It just means that you are not necessarily proud of that person. There are two different things. You're not necessarily proud of that side of your life, or you are not, that obviously you are going to be judged a lot by being that person. But the one person who is supposed to know that side of you is your partner. And you know that if many of them find out, they are not going to like you. They're not going to want you anymore. They're not going to want anything to do with you anymore. But moral integrity means that you're not going actively sneaking around behind your partner to conduct illicit activities or things that do not have that do not bring you any sort of integrity. Things that if they come out, you are going to be so ashamed of yourself and you would bury your head in utmost shame. And you don't want to be that kind of man. There are many of you right now that your partner knows. Your partner knows you hide to watch pornography. And maybe they still accept you as human. They still regard you. They don't question you in that way. That's a woman who genuinely loves you and supports you. But that woman too would want you to be better and come out of that. There's a difference. If a woman wants you for your perfectionism, that person may not necessarily love you because you are human. You will not be perfect all the time. You will not be the ideal man all the time. It's going to be a long journey of 40 years minimum for a lot of couples or more. I mean, with the rate of divorce now, I don't even know how long marriages last anymore. But with a long time being with somebody, you would not always be the ideal man. You will not always be the perfect man. You will not always be the most attractive man to her. You will not always be the man who is always meeting her needs and satisfying her. And your woman needs to have the ability to see you as human. Humans are not perfect. Only God is perfect. And you are not perfect. But you know what you could do? You could come out of that situation and keep working on yourself, which leads me to my next point: continuous improvement. Continuous improvement, self-improvement, continuous iteration of yourself is important. A righteous man falleth 7 times, but he rises. How did the Bible even say this? In Proverbs 24 verse 16, for a righteous man may fall 7 times and rise again, but the wicked shall fall by calamity. The Bible is distinguishing the difference between a righteous man and a wicked person. When we say righteous, what do we mean exactly? It means somebody who is walking upright, right? That's exactly the definition of righteous. But the Bible here acknowledges that a righteous man will fall. This is crazy revelation. A righteous man will fall. You will fall. You will fall. You are not perfect. You will come short in some areas, in showing her emotional support, in showing up financially, in a lot of ways. And it's important that you rise. Continuous improvement. Going to the gym, being in a better shape is important. Finding the ways that you need to be better as a man is important. And that leads me to my next point, which is be attractive. You need to know how to work on yourself to remain attractive. Because you're in a relationship or because you're in a marriage doesn't mean you lose yourself. Doesn't mean you forget who you are. Doesn't mean you stop going to the gym. Doesn't mean you don't dress well anymore. Doesn't mean you don't pay attention to your hygiene anymore. Doesn't mean you lose yourself. No, you've gotten so comfortable with this woman that she sees you as a roommate. She sees you as a brother. She sees you as just a friend or whatever it is. There's no emotional attachment from her. There's no chemistry. There's nothing. She's lost. You've lost her in that direction, in that part of life. That's not the way to go with a marriage or a relationship, because you guys are in something romantic. Once you take romance from that, then you guys are siblings. You guys are roommates, whatever you want to call it. But the romance needs to be there. The chemistry needs to be there. There has to be that foundation of emotional connection and chemistry. If it's not there, you need to start working on that. You need to refresh yourself. You need to rebuild yourself. You need to recustomize yourself, whatever word you want to use. For your partner, for yourself, you need to be a little more attractive. She fell in love with you because she loves you, not just your mind, but she loves you the way you are. Do you know? Women are also visual. They are also visual. Men are more visual, but women are also visual. She fell in love with you because of the way you are, and you need to continue to maintain that person. You need to continue to be that person. These are the things you need to bring to your partner, bring to the table, as they call it, in your relationship going forward, especially in the new year. Guys, it's been a memorable year. And I'm not going to use this video to say a lot of things, but it's also been a year that came with a lot of emotions. And even the last few weeks of this year, or even the last week, has been a little bit strong, even for me. And I'm just praying to God that He keeps you and that God keeps all of us. I wish you a happy new year. I love you from the depth of my heart. My name is Ikenna Onwe. Going forward, our channel may be transitioning a little bit more. So I want you to be able to identify with us and just, be a part of what we're building here and be a part of our family. Once again, my name is Ikenna, and I hope I see more of you around. Take it easy. Happy New Year.